I get to start playing my favorite sport, pickleball, tomorrow with protocols and physical distancing in place. Lots of testing, contact treatments, isolation along with contact tracing and isolation along with treatments, and eventually, hopefully, a safe vaccine soon. That those will have to be in place before we can feel like we're safe and get back to normal again. But will we go back to normal? Did things go back to normal after 9/11? Are we finding out things during this pandemic that aren't so good about the old normal? Can we learn from this disruptive time and fashion a new normal that's better in the long run for humankind? So these are the questions we're exploring during our service today. And thank you for joining us. In each heart lives a flame of truth, bringing warmth and light, hope and inspiration to the human journey. Lighting our chalice on Sunday mornings is a reminder of that inner flame and of the need to nourish it and share it with one another. We're gathering this morning as people of faith with joys and sorrows, gifts and needs. We light our chalice as a beacon of hope in these unsettling times, and in the celebration of the life we share together, even during a pandemic lockdown. We're delighted to have one of our newest members, Terry Nihaisis, light our chalice this morning. So light yours at home as well if you choose to do so. Terry, please light the chalice. Thank you. For the wonder and inspiration we seek from sun, stars, and all the lights of the heavens, we light this chalice. May the light of understanding illuminate our darkness. May the warmth of caring bring us healing and peace. We are the warmth. We are the light. Please read with me our centering thought for today. It's entitled Earth Cure Me. It's adapted from poet, novelist, and photographer Nancy Wood. The words are on your screen, and you are being unmuted so we can hear each other as we read. Here we go. Earth, cure me. Earth,
receive
my woe. Rock,
strengthen
me.
rock,
receive my
Weakness.
rain, wash my sadness away. Rain,
receive my doubt.
Doubt.
Sun,
Make sweet my
Sweet
song
song.
sun,
Move my fear.
from my heart.
My
So we're delighted to have our music director, Carol Cole, singing and playing the piano for us as usual. It'll be a little different this morning because the camera will stay on Carol while she sings and plays hymn number 1024, When the Spirit Says Do. So no lyrics, Carol instead. Fortunately, many of Reverend Sanchez printed the word for you in her sing-along email sent yesterday. So we'll be muted from home so we can only hear Carol. But please feel free to sing along with her from home as she plays and sings for us the hymn, Spirit Says Do.
Hi, everyone. So I'm going to start out with you guys today. And the first word is you got to do what the Spirit says do. And at the end of each verse, I'll give you the new word in case you don't have the lyrics up on the screen. So here you go. You got to do. You gotta do when the Spirit says do. You gotta do when the Spirit says do. When the Spirit says do, you gotta do. Lord, you gotta do when the Spirit says do. 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 Sing. Sing when the Spirit says sing. You gotta sing when the Spirit says sing. You gotta Spirit says sing. You gotta sing. Oh, you gotta sing when the Spirit says sing. Spirit says sing. Spirit says sing. Spirit says sing. Spirits dancing, spirits dancing, spirits dancing. Dance, you gotta dance when the spirits dance. You gotta dance when the spirits dance. When the spirits dance, you gotta dance. You gotta dance when the spirits dance. Spirit says dance, 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 spirit says dance. Laugh, you gotta laugh when the spirit says laugh. You gotta laugh when the spirit says laugh. When the spirit says laugh, you gotta laugh. You gotta laugh when the spirit says laugh. 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 Shout, gotta shout when the spirit says shout. You gotta shout when the spirit says shout. When the spirit says shout, you gotta shout. You gotta shout when the spirit says shout. 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 You gotta do when the spirit says do. You gotta do when the spirit says do. When the spirit says do, you gotta do. Oh, you gotta do when the spirit says do. 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 Spirit
Thank you so much, Carol. Thank you so much, Carol. That was so inspiring. So lovely to see you play and sing for us. Even though we can't be there in person with you, it feels like we are right now.
Thank you.
So there's a short affirmation that I invite you to read aloud at home with me. The affirmation is going to be put on the screen, and we're going to read together. Love is the spirit of this congregation, and service is its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. In Unitarian Universalism, we accept you for who and what you are. We're a welcoming congregation with membership open to all. We subscribe to no single religious creed, but have gathered a set of principles that guide us as we build a religious community together. Even when we can't be together physically, we are together in spirit. Our minister is Reverend Marie Sanchez. Before the pandemic, she was with us twice a month, once to provide a sermon, an additional Sunday to be with us together in worship. Since the COVID-19 lockdown, she's been Zooming with us every Sunday. Reverend Sanchez is going above and beyond for our community, since we are only paying her for her part-time work, but she's being a full-time minister for us now, and she was in the past too, but she's especially doing that now, and thank you, Marie. So we're grateful that she's our rock during these coronavirus times. Here she is, the one you've been waiting for, Reverend Marie Sanchez.
Well, thank you very much, Donna. I'm here until Thursday, as they say in the bars. Well, it's really good to see all of you. And it's especially good to know that there are people who are joining us from the Bay Area, from Sacramento, from their homes, from perhaps their backyard. Some people we can't see because they're on their telephone, but we can see their business card. So welcome to everybody. I didn't dream a couple months ago that we would be gathering this way. You know, I love to be in our building and I love to touch and see every one of you and give the hugs and the handshakes and so forth. But there definitely are pluses. And the pluses, of course, is for us to be together when we live at a distance or it was not possible for us in some way before. to gather for worship. So here we are, all together in one strong body, as they say. If you don't already know about it, we have other Zooming opportunities. And so I'm hoping that you're going to be paying attention to those MailChimps and to my pastoral letters that go out about once a week, and that you're informed and that you'll choose to participate. Our book discussion group not too long ago was hosted by Oakley. And he did such a fabulous job. And there are a number of us who would really like him to do it again. It was in there, and she's saying, no, but it was wonderful. I mean, really the best facilitation of a book group that many of us have ever attended. And that's pretty high praise, since, you know, there are people like Jean whose homes are lined with books. So yes. And if somebody else wants to step up and they want to offer to facilitate a book group, that would be fabulous. There are ones that are already prepared for us on the UUA website, and there's some books that people have already indicated an interest in reading together. So that's one. And we have our Zoom at noon discussion group, which was meeting only the first Fridays of every month at Laguna Woods for years, decades, I think, and then for a little while at our building there in Laguna Beach. But now we're on Zoom, and it is great because it's reaching out to a multiplicity of generations. We have Alex. I think Alex is, 4 years old? And I think our oldest are in the 90s, and it's just a very lively discussion group. Paul Bogdan is the person who facilitates it and does a wonderful job. And Rachel, I like to call Rachel our Professor Rachel now, because she has been providing us with some really stimulating topics for us to discuss. And I'm always inspired, always learn something, and it's very enjoyable. So I hope that you also will participate every Friday at noon. It's about an hour-ish. When we're finished with the discussion, we finish our group. So you can come and go as you please. This last time, we had some really neat discussion items, and I will tell you what they were. Inspiration and imagination. How does inspiration come to you? Can inspiration be sought? How are you an inspiration? And in which ways do you nourish your own imagination? Two responses particularly stuck out for me. One was from an artist and a musician in our midst. You know her as Candy Strock, the Happy Booker. She immediately said that she's inspired by mistakes. And I had to sit back for just a second, but I totally resonate with that. She said that when she is creating a piece of art, she makes a mistake. And even if she's disappointed or she's frustrated by the experience, she looks for another way to move forward. It's often not to try to correct the mistake, but to let her imagination lead her to a whole new creative and artistic response. She said patterns emerge in the space where she hadn't seen them before. The so-called mistakes were inherent in her creativity and brought out even more inspiration on what might be possible. The second response that tugged at me was problems. Well, Carolyn Rohrman, as you know, was a public school teacher for decades and such an organized person. And I always thought, oh, she has no problems. Well, of course she has problems like all the rest of us. And she was very helpful in saying, if everything is going along fine with no problems, there's no reason to open your mind to a new way of thinking or doing anything. There is a real sense of accomplishment, even joy, when a new and perhaps better way is found. Rather than spending time bemoaning what was, there's an exhilaration found in what might be a feeling of accomplishment, yes, but a sense of relief in leaving behind what no longer serves you. An opportunity to create something more healthy, beautiful, and promising than what you had left behind. I've been thinking a lot about these ideas and how they relate to where we find ourselves today in this pandemic. Mistakes have been made, and we have many problems. Now, just as we are considering in our cocoon stage, how we will deal with the pandemic. We have to figure out which didn't serve us. We have to look for new and healthy and better and creative ways. I'm looking forward to the rest of the service because, of course, that's what Donna is going to be speaking about today. And I want to move forward with you as a community of faith to ponder, to reflect, to pray in this service about how we as a community will go forward. I do want to say that the Zoom groups are open to all. Keep reading those messages about them and please join us. You might find that there's something very inspiring to you and to us and how we might make our way forward. And remember, you are loved right now, just the way you are, right here. Amen. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Lee Marie. Now we have an announcement from our Board of Trustees President, Peggy Mears.
A little bit like I'm preaching. Oh, am I unmuted now? I think I know all of you. I'm preaching to the choir. Everybody knows what an annual meeting is here for UUFLB, and we are holding ours on Sunday, June 7th, immediately following the service. We have to approve next year's budget. We have new trustees to elect to the board. We do have to have, according to our bylaws, a 20% of the membership present to vote on these items. But even if you're not a member, I urge everyone to attend. I always do, because I think it's such a valuable way to learn about our fellowship, our community, and where we're going from here. And I'll be honest with you, and you may be having a similar thought, the hard times don't seem to be over yet. And it was tough enough that we lost a lot of important people in our community these last few years, and important pledgers as well. We can't keep this up forever, and we can't have just the same few people doing so much. It's going to take all of our efforts to survive this year and to, I hope, prepare our fellowship to thrive again. We all have to be in the same boat, rowing in the same direction. And I really can't think of a better starting point than coming to our annual meeting and participating there. That's how we start shaping our future, is right there. We do need a few volunteers. If anybody's interested, we'll need a parliamentarian, a secretary to take minutes, and 2 election commissioners to make sure we're on track. If you're interested in doing any of those things, oh, one more thing. Well, I was going to say, if you're interested in any of those things, let me know. And I wanted to say that we are going to be holding our vote online on Zoom for the first time. And thank goodness Lee Marie has found us a terrific template to follow. But as I wrote to our board, I think last night, I can't fly this plane alone. And I'm going to have a script in my hand while I run the meeting. And I really am going to need some help getting through the meeting. So don't be shy. None of these things are hard to do. And you know what? Haven't you mostly found, like I have, that the more you participate, the more you enjoy? So I'll see you all on the 7th, and I'll see you before then. Thanks, Donna.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Peggy. Thank you. Thank you, Peggy. Oh, there we go. Okay, thank you so much, Peggy, for sharing that with us. So we'll all be joining hopefully at June the 7th. So our mission, the mission of our congregation, goes on even though we're not together. The costs that go with that mission continue even though we cannot pass our offertory basket around on Sunday mornings anymore. Many of us pledge to give a monthly or yearly amount of money for the mission of our fellowship. In the coming weeks, you're going to hear testimonials about why that helps our congregation. Today, David Schaefer and I will give testimonials about why we do it that way. I'll go first. I have my bank send the UFB a check every month. I have it on auto pay, so I don't have to think about doing it. It just happens, and I see it on my statement every month. So when I have to miss a service, I can still give the same amount each month to help keep our fellowship running smoothly. And it's nice to have a printout of the total paid at the end of the year, so I can use that information when I file my taxes. Some congregants pay one lump sum yearly. Whichever way works best for you, that's the one to do. In a few minutes, our offertory screen will come up, and you can see how you can help. please pledge and support our fellowship regularly. You are the you in UUFLB. Now our Board of Trustee member, David Schaefer, will share his testimonial about the importance of pledging and tithing on a regular basis. David?
Good morning, everybody. I'm not even sure how long I've been a member here, about 7 years now, I think. And it's always been important to me to give to the fellowship because I get so much out of it. And as Donna said, doing this through some kind of an auto pay method through the bank or something is really a convenient way to do it. It makes it a lot easier. Plus, it helps the fellowship really have a steady stream of income rather than peaks and valleys in it, which really helps the management a lot. And I do it a little bit differently. I just have given a debit card, which the fellowship has an automated way. I'm not positive. I think it's automated, that it just automatically hits my debit card every month. You can also do it directly from your bank account. So I really encourage everybody who, is writing checks once a week or once a month and putting them in to consider doing one of these automated methods, because it really does help the fellowship and it makes it a lot easier on you.
All right, thank you, David. So now you can see the offertory screen that shows you how you can contribute to help us keep our mission for world peace and social justice. So we're going to leave that screen up for a little while. Please give generously and with love. You should also know that the links to both the new Tithely site and PayPal are in the email that was sent to you yesterday to let you know about this service. It's so easy to click on the link and set it up. If you're not receiving that email, send us an email or letter with your email address and you can start receiving our weekly messages as well. The screen will set for a few minutes for those who need more time. While we're waiting, I'm going to give you an update from last month. My $1,200 stimulus check from the federal government finally came in. I pledged to give it to the UUFLB, and the money was mailed yesterday. I did this because we're a small congregation, and finances are sometimes a challenge. The UUFLB needs this money more than I do. With the loss of income from too many of our beloved elderly members, we need to do everything we can to shore up our fellowship. Of course, many of us are struggling financially. Always take care of yourself and your family first. But if you are able, consider using some of that money to help the mission of our congregation. I have 2 coronavirus poems for you. The first one is entitled Virus, and it's adapted by Emmett Majumdar, an American novelist and poet. Neither video nor bacterium, doorknob slobber droplet, born mysterium, born of nothing, knowing only how to breed, like some dandelion clockless dandelion seed, protein, hijacker, safecracker, magical papyrus, scrap of genome, sealed with a cork to sell the maelstrom, mimic malice, code and chalice. Yours the message, all the muses sing, when will we be rid of this thing? The second one is an adapted message from Wendell Berry, an American novelist, poet, and environmental activist. When despair for the world grows in me, and I wake in the night in fear, I go and look out the window at the ducks resting on the water in the lake that is near. I come into the peace of the wild things who do not tax their lives thinking about the future. I come into the presence of still water, and I feel above me the day-blind stars waiting with their light. For a time, I rest in the grace of the world, and I'm at peace again. Now it's time for our meditation. Let's draw inside ourselves as we meditate together. If you want to join us, close your eyes, relax in your chair, feet flat on the floor, shoulders back, hands and arms relaxed. Take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Take another deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Follow the movement of your breath. Let's share a quiet moment of meditation as we pray for safety from COVID-19 for ourselves and everyone in the world. Now we will have our responsive reading. It's by George E. Odell, number 468 in our gray hymnal. The words will be on your screen. I will read the words in regular print, and you will read the words in italics. We will unmute you so we can hear each other when it's our turn to read. I will go first. We need one another when we mourn and would be comforted.
Need
One another.
and we are in trouble and
Oh,
afraid.
and afraid.
We need one another
Que
when
nomás
we are
una persona
despair,
para decir a Dios para no ser como
and
si
need to be
majadería.
recalled to our
Dame
best
un
self.
abrazo, please, amor. Nomás un abrazo, please. Nomás.
We need one another
Another.
and we would
And we would
accomplish
accomplish
some
great
this
Cannot do it alone.
alone.
¿Verdad?
We need one another in the hour of success when we look for someone to share our triumph.
Share our triumph.
We need one another hour of defeat,
Defeat.
and with encouragement we might endure and stand again.
We need one another when we come to die, and have gentle hands prepare us for the journey.
All our lives
We are
are in need,
And
and others are in need of
us.
So nice hearing everyone read together. The title of our service today is Life After the Coronavirus. The UU principle that I think ties in with our topic today is the first one. Unitarian Universalist congregations affirm and promote the inherent worth and dignity of every person. So here we are in the middle of a worldwide coronavirus pandemic. Everyone has a lot of questions. When will this be over? What will life be like as the pandemic lockdown slowly lifts across America and around the world? Will we be able to manage COVID-19 hotspots that flare up from community to community as people come into contact with each other? Will there be enough tests so that anyone who wants a test can get one? Will we develop will we develop tests that are easy to use, give quick results, and are more reliable than those we're using now? If you did get the COVID-19 virus, do you now have antibodies that will prevent you from getting it again? When will we have treatments and a safe vaccine that can be administered around the world? We have many questions, but we have a lot more uncertainty than we have answers. This uncertainty is causing many people anxiety. It doesn't help that our national leaders are divided in their approach to answering these questions. Fortunately, we have a number of leaders who are stepping up to the challenges of this pandemic and working hard to answer these questions. Many citizens are giving their governors and local leaders high marks on how they are handling this unprecedented challenge to our normal way of life. We have excellent medical leaders who are showing us the way. My personal favorite is Dr. Anthony Fauci, who recommends that we return to normal very slowly and with an abundance of caution. Unfortunately, not all state and national leaders are following the advice of these scientists. They want to return to normal fast. But can we really return to normal? The even more important question is, do we really want to? After 9/11, we did not return to normal. How we travel across America was changed forever, and around the world too. The federal government put into place enormous homeland security and cybersecurity measures to meet the new challenges. So no, we did not go back to normal then, and we're not going to go back to normal now either, because this national crisis has opened our eyes to some important ideas. The importance of being prepared and of bringing people together rather than dividing them. It shined a spotlight on people who are underpaid and undervalued, but whose work is essential to us. We can't survive without farmers and the workers who get the food from the farms to our stores. Unappreciated store clerks are now on the front lines, delivering, sometimes at their own peril, the essential items that we need. We now recognize how important teachers and caregivers are for our society to function. No one needs a movie star, but we do need teachers and caregivers for our children, workers in our nursing homes, and cleaning crews, And the list goes on and on. All the unsung heroes behind the scenes, but essential. So we're now acutely aware of our unselfish nurses, doctors, and other medical workers who are putting their lives on the line for us. But will we continue to appreciate these heroes and all of the current heroes on the front lines when we get through this? People are clamoring for us to open back up and get back to normal. But I don't want us to go back to normal. I want us to establish a new normal where the first of our 7 principles is valued by our society at large. A new normal where we affirm and promote the inherent worth and dignity of every person, especially those who are working behind the scenes, underpaid and undervalued, to keep the world functioning around us. Let's make valuing others as much as ourselves our new normal. Wearing a face mask shows that I'm protecting you as much as myself. Let's think about putting the needs of others first. Let's offer to help each other. Let's reach out socially, although not physically yet, to deepen our connections to each other. Let's build a beloved community in America and around the world. That is the new normal that I want. Blessed be. Now we're going to switch back to Terry Nehisis to extinguish our chalice. So Terry, would you please extinguish the chalice for us? And those of you at home, extinguish your chalice too, if you choose. Thank you, Terry. We extinguish this chalice and this flame, knowing its light remains in the warmth and compassion of our hearts until we are together again. The adapted closing message for today is from Father Michael Graham, president of Xavier University. As we slowly come out of these pandemic times, may we who are merely inconvenienced remember those whose lives are at stake. May we who have no risk factors remember those who are vulnerable. May we who have the luxury of working from home remember those who must choose between preserving their health and making their rent. May we who have the flexibility to care for our children when their schools close remember those who have no options. May we who are surviving a quarantine at home remember those who have no home. As we live through this fearful and uncertain time, let us choose love. And during this time, when we may not be able to physically wrap our arms around each other, let's find ways to be the loving embrace of God to our neighbors, to each other, and to the world community. Let's end our service like we always do by singing together our closing song, Let There Be Peace on Earth. Most of us know the words by heart, so we're going to let Carol take over here and sing and play for us instead of viewing the lyrics. You'll be muted so that we can hear her, but please sing along from home if you choose. Also, we will have our virtual coffee hour together after the song, so stick around for a chat if you'd like to. Thank you so much for joining us today. Carol?
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With earth as our mother, we are healthy. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment. With every step I take, let this be my song and vow. Take each moment, live each moment, peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, let it begin with me.
Now it's time for our virtual coffee hour, so jump right in.